He does know his overpower ability just because the Yusato possesses a rare gift of healing magic. The king was instantly frightened when he heard the news. However, before he could hide Yusato, a rescue team leader woman came to the door. Seeing that the matter was about to be exposed, the king quickly asked the wealthy to use magic to send Yusato out of the country, but they really underestimated the strength of this woman. Yusato was originally just an ordinary high school student, but he accidentally walked with the school beauty because he didn't bring an umbrella. However, before the three of them could separate, a gorgeous magic circle suddenly appeared under their feet. As the light gradually dissipated, Yusato opened his eyes and saw the king in a different world. Seeing that he was still in a daze, the school Suzune Kozuki explained that he had just woken up. When he looked at the school belle Suzune next to him, the girl had an expression of excitement. This scene made him Yusato stunned. Fortunately, the king finally spoke at this time. He explained that the male protagonists were the heroes he summoned. 2 years ago, his country was attacked by the Demon King's army. Although they temporarily repelled the enemy after a deadly battle in order to resist the Demon King's army's next attack, the king had to use the last resort to summon the heroes. However, compared to Suzune, who was still excited at this time, Kozuki seemed very angry. He didn't care about the Demon King hero. He just wanted to go back and see his family as soon as possible. Although the king understood Kozuki's mood very well, he had no choice but to summon the hero in a one-way. It could bring people but could not bring them back. Upon hearing this news, was instantly furious, but before he could take any action, all the surrounding soldiers raised their weapons. Seeing that the atmosphere was very tense at this time, the Yusato quickly tried to smooth things over, but he didn't expect the king to suddenly make a move. Seeing that the king's attitude was so sincere, Suzune also softened her heart. But before that, he had another question, that is, why did the king think they were heroes? It turns out that the magic circle that summons the heroes has a spell to screen qualifications, and the person who is summoned will hear the bell ringing. Hearing this sentence, the three of them were instantly confused because the Yusato actually heard nothing at the time, which meant that he was just an ordinary person who was affected. But now that everyone is here, seeing that the wealthy is about to test their magical ability of the heroes, of course Yusato also wants to join in the fun. After testing, it was found that Suzune possesses the lightning magic qualification with extremely strong attack power, and Kozuki has a very rare light magic qualification. When it was Yusato's turn, as he placed his hand on the crystal ball, a mood-stabilizing green light instantly lit up. Unexpectedly, the wealthy face suddenly changed when she saw this scene, then she took to Yusato find the king without saying a word. Seeing that the nun was so anxious, the king was not in a hurry and he even had the intention to make a joke. Just when the king was thinking about where to hide the male protagonist, Rose, the leader of the kingdom's rescue team, suddenly pushed the door open. This scene instantly frightened everyone on the scene to the point of sweating profusely. The purpose of Screw's visit today is to ask how the summoning of the heroes is going? Seeing that he looked at the Yusato, the king quickly explained that the male protagonist was just an ordinary young man who had been affected. Looking at the king's unquestionable eyes, Rose seemed to believe his words. So Wellesley took the opportunity to invite Rose to get to know the real heroes, which temporarily relieved the crisis at this time. However, Usteo didn't know what the situation was now, and he actually brought up the previous problem again. Suzune. When they heard the news that the male protagonist was taken away, both Suzune and Kozuki were stunned. Faced with their doubts, the Lisi explained that the male protagonist was just taken to the rescue team's stronghold. It turns out that the green light represents the male protagonist's attribute of healing, and the history of healing magic in this world is actually very rare. As the strongest among them, Rose wants to personally train the male protagonist. Although this thing sounds normal, the reason why the king and the others are so nervous is entirely because there is something wrong with Rose's brutal training education. At the same time, the male protagonist seemed to echo Rose's words. Rose's subordinates were all a group of scary-looking strong men. Seeing the male protagonist coming, they forced the male protagonist into a corner like evil ghosts. Rose sighed helplessly. In fact, these people were not healing magicians. The other two people in the rescue group who knew healing magic were out working, so the male protagonist would be guided by Rose himself. Thanks for watching. Subscribe more videos like this.